Hi, back again with this Marantz SD333. Gonna work on putting some belts on today. So the first thing you're gonna have to do is remove the screws on all four corners, and then you can lift the top off of it. Taking a look inside, you got the transport off to the left there. And to make life a little bit easier, we're going to remove some of the clips that are going to hold that transport from extending further, because we're going to want to get underneath that and get us all the room that we can. So taking a look at the transport clips, we're going to need to remove this ejector clip that's on the left hand side here. And then on the right hand side, we've got a clip that is the magnetic stop. And then there's a clip that holds the opening spring. So we'll have to take all of those off. Let me turn this around a little bit so you can get a better look as we do that. So it's a little bit difficult to see here, but first off, going to start by removing that ejector clip. That's very close to the outside edge there and a little bit difficult to get out. You need a thin Phillips screwdriver. And then over to the opposite side there, we're going to take off the clip that attaches and hits the magnet and holds the transport in place when it's fully extended. And then we're going to remove the spring and then take off the clip that holds the spring. So with the clips removed, we'll be able to extend that transport out just a little bit farther and give us some more working room. So we've got the unit upside down now, and with those clips out, we can extend the transport out just a little bit. We're going to have to remove 4 screws on the bottom, 2 of them on the control panel in the front, and then 2 of them are on a cover plate that protect the belts and hold the flywheel in. So we're going to take all of those screws off. And once we get those screws off, we're going to slide the control panel forward just a little bit, and then we'll be able to take that cover plate off. So here's the control panel, slide forward, then you'll be able to remove that cover plate. So with the cover plate off, you can see the temporary belts that I had put in place previously just to make sure that this was working. And we're going to replace those belts. So the first thing we're going to need to do is remove the plate that holds the flywheel in place, and there's 2 screws that you need to remove to do that, one on either side, of course. And as you remove that, you got a lot of wires to contend with, so be careful with that. Get those, get the bracket and those screws out of there, and you kind of expose, really now with the transport able to move forward, the belts. So let's remove the old belts here. And again, these were put in temporarily just to make sure that the transport was working. And once I knew it was working, I ordered the right set of belts. Most of the belts come with a sterile wipe or alcohol wipe, so you can wipe down the flywheel, you can wipe down the pulleys. I've already done that, of course. So we'll start by installing the fast forward reverse belt. And it took me a couple of times actually to make sure that it's installed without any of the twisting. So take your time and make sure that the belt is on correctly and it's on straight. And then we'll install the flywheel belt. And the flywheel belt, as you can see, doesn't ride on the outside of the flywheel. There's actually an area inside of it where it rides. And then you want to make sure it's in the center of the pulley on the motor side as well. And once those are installed and look like they're rotating smoothly, we'll go ahead and we'll put the flywheel bracket back in place. And there's a little bushing on the bottom of that bracket that holds the flywheel shaft in place. Get those screws back on, tighten those things down, and we'll be ready to replace the cover. So slide that cover in and then push it back so the tabs fit underneath. And then you've got 4 screws to reinstall. So by the way, we're only replacing the flywheel and the fast forward rewind belt. There are two additional counter belts, but both of them are in place and they seem to have a little bit of their spring left in them, so I'm not bothering with those for now. That might be a future project, and if so, I'll try to update a video to show you how to do that. So now that we've got those belts installed, the cover's back on, let's flip this thing over again, and we're going to have to extend the transport and reinstall all of the clips that we had removed previously. So just going in reverse order here, the first bracket that we're going to put back in is for the spring, and that bracket is the one that goes closest to the damping gear, and we needed to remove that because that bracket would hit the gear and would not allow us to fully extend the transport out. So the next bracket that we're going to put in is the magnet clip. And the way that works is that clip, when the transport is fully extended, that clip touches a magnet on the base, and it kind of just offers a little resistance so that you can keep the transport open. Next, we're going to install the eject clip, and that little bracket has a shaft on it that connects to an arm off to the side, and that will hold the transport in place until you hit the eject button. So we're going to reinstall that here, and you need a very narrow Phillips screwdriver to get one of the screws in because it's close to the chassis. So here we are with the final step, which is extending the spring and attaching it back to the bracket. So we've got it all reassembled now. We're going to give it a test run. So we've got the power on. Let's plug in the tape, hit the play button, and you can see that the meter is working there. So hopefully, if you've got a problem with your belts, you can take a look at this video and it'll be of some assistance to you.